Okay. Good morning. Today is the first day of September. Today is Wednesday, September the 1st. It's a miracle during first period. We all have our computers out and everybody is logged in. Okay. What we are going to do is you are going to go to first 9 weeks. You need to click on your English class, first of all. Okay. Click on your English course. Has everybody done that? Okay, make sure you click on your English course, and then you are going to scroll down to first 9 weeks. All right, first 9 weeks. We're going to scroll down again to week 4. And then we're going to scroll down to Wednesday, September the 1st. Now, the first thing that we're going to do is DGP4W. All right, what does the 4 stand for? Week 4. And what does the W stand for? Wednesday. All right, so you're going to go ahead and you are going to click on that. We're going to start a new attempt. I'm going to go ahead and do this with you for the next couple of weeks just to kind of get you in the swing of things. So our grades for this should be very, very, very good if you're paying attention. Okay? Now, here are the directions. In the 2 inboxes, top row, you're going to put your brackets. On the bottom row, you will identify the following left to right. Okay, left to right. First box, independent clause, then the sentence type, and then the sentence purpose. If you do not put it in that order, it is going to count your question wrong. Okay? All right. Hooray, these sentences are not very difficult. So what should go, and I don't need you to answer out loud, okay? If you need to go back up and read the directions, you may scroll up. You have a computer in front of you. All right, but what goes in these 2 inboxes, okay? And you need to make sure that you put the opening and the closing one in the right place. Okay, now it says these sentences are not very difficult yet, okay? What is the subject of this sentence? Sentences. What is the verb in this sentences? In this sentence? Are. Okay. Does this sentence express a complete thought? Yes. Okay. If it has a subject and a verb and it expresses a complete thought, what kind of clause do we have? An independent clause. Okay. An independent clause. It's down there. Now, in the middle box, okay, we need to put the type of sentence we have. How many subjects do we have in this sentence?
1.
How many verbs do we have in this sentence? 1. How many complete thoughts do we have?
1.
1. What kind of sentence do we have? A simple sentence. What is the abbreviation for simple sentence? SS. Okay? Now, the purpose of this sentence. The purpose of this sentence. Okay, is it going to be declarative, which means make a statement? Is it going to be interrogative, which means ask a question? Is it going to be imperative, which means to give a command? Or is it going to be exclamatory, exclaiming something? All right, it is declarative. Okay? When you finish, you click review and then you click submit. Anyone not submitted? Anyone not submitted? All right. We're going to move on to our next assignment. All right, so what I need for you to do is now you are going to need to go back to Wednesday, September the 1st, okay? You need to get out your vocabulary words. If you wrote or if you typed them, I have given you a copy of them back. And again, your grade, you may find that in the computer. I have posted it. If you wrote yours on paper, I will give it back to you in just a second. Hey, Miss A.G., will you give these students one of those copies just so I can look through these real quick? All right, Miss A.G. is going to give you a copy of the definition so I can look through your written work. I will give these back to you before you leave class today. Okay, I will give them back to you before you leave class today, and your grade will be posted in Schoology. Okay. All right. So what you're going to do is you are going to click on WWIB. Now, what does WW stand for?
Wordly wise.
Wordly wise. What does 1 stand for? The lesson. Lesson 1. All right. And B is what lesson we're doing. We're doing lesson 1B. Yesterday we did lesson 1A. All right. W4W. What does that stand for? Week 4 on Wednesday. So you're going to go ahead and you're going to click on week 4 Wednesday. All right. Once you do that, let's read these directions. Okay. Read each statement. Replace the bold context clues or definitions with a vocabulary word from word list 1. You may use your definitions. Now, this is so very, very important right here. In order to receive credit, your word must be spelled correctly. Do not capitalize the word. All right, this is case sensitive. So that means that if you put a capital letter in there somewhere, that Schoology is going to count it wrong. And because I am standing here telling you to spell it correctly and to not put a capital letter, I will not go back and edit a grade. I need for you to look at me and acknowledge that you understand what I just said. Heavenland, get up, sit up. Okay? You have to spell this correctly. Do not use capital letters, all lowercase letters. Do I make myself clear? Double check your typing. Don't just assume that you have typed it incorrectly. You have a list in front of you. There's no excuse for you to spell it incorrectly. Unless you're just being lazy. Okay? Now, if your answer is pervade, it should be written like this. And I even gave you an example of exactly how it should be typed. There is no reason for you not to do this correctly. Okay? All right. You're going to go ahead and click Start New Attempt. I'm going to do the first one with you. Okay? Go ahead and start new attempt. I'm going to do the first one with you. A worker needs to be able to recover quickly from misfortune in order to survive in these difficult times. Now, using your word list, you can go back and look at those definitions and you can find the word that says able to recover quickly from misfortune.
I knew that word from like 2 weeks ago.
Right? And I told them that too. All right, what is it?
Resilient.
Resilient. Good. Okay, so you are going to type in R-E-S. R-E-S-I-L-I-E-N-T. All right, resilient. All right, you have 10 of these. JC. Okay, I'm sorry. I did do that. Okay, I did mix the questions up. So what you're going to do is you can go through and find the one that says recover quickly from misfortune. I did that because some of us want to look at the computer in front of us or behind us, and we're trying to use our friends' computers, and that's not okay.
Or our friend, yeah, that's right. Or their papers in the instance of paper stuff.
I need to know what you know. I don't need to know what the person beside you knows or the person behind you or in front of you knows. Okay? You're going to go through these and you are going to type in your responses, and when you finish, you are going to click submit.
Thank you.
This might be a good time when you go over this to talk about how words have different forms, like inaugurate is the verb, and inauguration is the noun, and turbulent and turbulence. You know, how some of these are calling for things that they might not just think, like, you know,
Okay. Raise your hand if you're still working. All right. I'm going to give you just a little bit more time. If you did not turn in, alright, if you did not turn in or submit your definitions through Schoology or hand me a paper copy, you officially have a 0 until I get it. Okay, I got you. Alright, if you did not submit your definitions through Schoology or hand me a paper copy, you officially have a 0 in my grade book. You don't, because you're good. Okay? Alright, does everybody understand that? So if you want, not if you want a grade, you have to have a grade. Okay? You need to get it into me. If not, I'll refer you to Saturday school to do definitions. Okay? Alright, is anybody still working on the wordly wax?
No, she's not doing this to be mean. She's trying to make you more responsible. How long have they had to do this?
Since Monday.
But the thing about it is, we've been working with the same words for like 2 weeks. I even as old and forgetful as I am remember the words.
The biggest thing too is following the directions. If you didn't put the part of speech, you had points taken off. If you didn't write the multiple meanings, you had points taken off. If you did not create a sentence for your word, you had points taken off. Okay? Alright. Ernest Hemingway wrote in a style that was short and to the point. What word goes here? Short and to the point. Concise. C-O-N-C-I-S-E. Okay? From Miss Hernandez's abrupt manner, the students understand immediately that something was wrong. Abrupt manner. What word? Brusque. Good. B-R-U-S-Q-U-E. Is that right? All right. Uncle Joshua used to be an eager and enthusiastic fan of the Hartford Whalers until the team moved to North Carolina and changed its name to the Carolina Hurricanes. Avid. A-V-I-D. When the lawyer attempted to harm the reputation of the witness by calling her a liar, the judge intervened. Demean, good. Harm the reputation of D-E-M-E-A-N. The installation into office of Elena Kagan as a justice of the Supreme Court occurred in 2010. Now, you have to make sure that you read the whole entire thing. And this is a good lesson even for a standardized test. Some of you just skim and you don't pay attention to the whole thing. Well, that can mess you up real quick, like. Okay, if you missed 2, it's because you didn't read the question all the way or in its entirety. It says, make sure you use the correct word. The correct answer functions as a noun. Well, here's the thing. When I told you to do your definitions, I told you to write all of the meanings, all of the words. And I told you to write the part of speech. So if you didn't do those things, then you probably couldn't do this correctly. All right? And kind of like Miss Susan said, or Miss Grandma Wheelis a while ago, on this exercise, I told you what tense of the word to use, okay? If you have a word in the present tense, it's going to be spelled the way it usually is, or maybe add an S, okay? If it's in the past tense, what do you add to the end of a word? ED.
Sometimes it's just D, depending on how the word is spelled, D or ED.
Okay? Now, words take different forms, right? Turbulent and turbulence. Inaugurate and inauguration. They mean the same thing for the most part, but they're used in different ways.
One is an action and one is a theme, a noun.
Another reason why it's important to know your parts of speech. Do you want to hit on that more?
Well, just to say that it all meshes together.
Right.
You know, you can't do reading without knowing some English and vice versa. You know, it all meshes together.
Right. All right. So the installation into office, it's going to be inauguration. I-N. And I want to make sure I spell correctly too, so I'm going to look.
Sound that word out.
Inaug. A-U-G. U-R.
Inaugurate.
All right. Got it?
When a word has shun on the end, how's it gonna be spelled? Almost always. Tion, okay?
All right. The 1930s was a very disturbed and agitated decade in in European history. What's the word? What's the vocabulary word? Turbulence or turbulent? Turbulent. Okay. Without any explanation, Emmy bluntly rejected Brandon's offer to help her change the tire. Bluntly rejected. All right. Now, this says make sure you put your answer in the past tense. Good. I'm so proud of you. All right. The swelling in Denise's ankle was so painful that she could hardly stand it. So painful that she could hardly stand it. Excruciating. I'm not even going to attempt to spell that without looking. I do know that it is excruciating. All right. Excruciating. Who is the person with the legal right to the ownership of the furniture business? Person with the legal right. Proprietor. Very good. All right. And that is Proprietor. All right. And then you review your answers. All right. And then you submit. Okay. All right. Now, what I need for you to do is you are going to go back to week 4, August the 30th. And you're going to click on Wednesday, September the 1st. All right. And I want you to click on the writing process PowerPoint. The writing process PowerPoint. All right. Oh. All right. You have a handout in front of you that I gave you. Okay. I need for you to go ahead and you need to write your name at the top of this handout. All right. You need to write your name at the top of the handout. Yes. All right. You need to write your name at the top of the handout. Now, when we finish this today, you are going to place this in your notebook. Can someone tell me what the next sentence out of my mouth is going to be about this piece of paper? Keep up with it and don't what?
Lose it.
Don't lose it. Don't throw it away. Okay? Now, you should have 2 other handouts in your notebook from me. What are the 2 other handouts that you should have in your notebook? The 6 traits of writing. And the other one you got on the very first day of school. A syllabus. All right, your syllabus. Okay? Now, we've already talked about the 6 traits of writing. All right, we have already talked about the 6 traits of writing. Now we're going to talk about the writing process and how we write and the types of writing that we do. Okay? Now, when good writers start a new book, all right, when good writers start a new book, a poem or an essay, etc., the words just appear on the page without much effort. Do y'all agree with that? Wrong. Okay? I do not agree either. All right, all writers, especially the good ones, use a process when they write. Because our minds don't always think in logical paragraphs with supporting details and a carefully planned out thesis sentence, we have to approach a writing step. We have to approach writing a step at a time. Okay? Does anybody in here know what a thesis sentence is? Okay, I'm not gonna. Y'all do know what it is?
We had them at Robin's. You have to do them at the end of the when you're in lunch and so forth.
Okay, you have to write
And
like
then
it.
you write like a whole thesis. You have to stand in front of the whole school and do it.
Okay.
Like
All right.
research paper.
All right, the stages of the writing process. Here is number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. What are the stages of the writing process? So on your desk, you have notes, guided notes. Stage 1, pre-writing. Okay, that's where you're going to kind of just jot down your ideas and figure out what your topic is if it's not assigned. Okay,
And what you want to say about that topic.
and what you want to say about that topic. You can ramble on in your pre-writing. Okay? Also, in your pre-writing, we'll probably do what we call an outline to help you get that map for your paper down. Okay? Stage 2, which is number 2 on your paper, is drafting. Number 3, revising. What does the word revise mean? What does the word revise mean?
That's revive.
All right, when you write something, you are supposed to go back and you are supposed to read it and check for errors. Check to see that your subjects and your verbs agree. Check to see that you have punctuated, that you have capitalized. And then you rewrite your paper. That is called revise, revision. Okay?
You know what? Not many writers can approach an assignment and write something and turn it in. You know, it's not good enough. You got to go back and look at it. And I will say this, it is very hard to look at your own writing with a critical eye. But if you were to hand it to somebody else, they would say, oh my Lord, I said no words are capitalized, no periods at the end of the sentences. And you go ahead and I'm going to tell them about my college experience did I already tell y'all that?
Yeah.
I think maybe I did. I knew I told it to somebody, but I did not know how to write a paper. And that lady got a hold of me and she told me just exactly how to do it. And that same pattern that's basically up here is the way I taught my 7th graders to write, always.
See? Y'all are going to be so smart when you leave out of here with 2 of us in here. All right. Stage 4 is proofreading. Okay, proofreading. This is going back and rereading. You may have to revise your paper and proofread it numerous times. It's not something that you just do once or twice. Okay? She can tell you that when I've written papers for college, there was one paper last spring I had to write for class, and I rewrote that paper 5, 6, 7, 8 times. Okay? You have to write it until whoever it is that is reading it or grading it deems it appropriate. Okay? The last stage is the final draft. That is the copy that you are going to turn in that is perfected, typed, free of errors, and the paper that's going to be submitted for grading. Okay? All right. Is everybody good so far? Do we have 1 through 5 filled in?
Yes.
All right. We're going to go on to the next slide. Oh.
Really, there is also a little checklist that I used to use, and you can check out the boxes like, is each first word in each sentence capitalized? Does every sentence have a punctuation mark?
Almost like a rubric.
Huh?
Almost like a rubric.
It is almost like a rubric. It sure is.
I wonder if you still have a copy of that.
I don't know. I will look.
Okay. All right, what is it time to do in pre-writing? Okay, stage 1 pre-writing. It's time to think. That is your answer to number 6. Time to think. Decide on your purpose and reason for writing. Okay, it's time to think, and you need to decide on your purpose and reason for writing. What are you trying to accomplish? Identify who is going to read or listen to your written work. All right? Who is your audience? Same thing as who is going to read, okay? Choose the topic of focus for your writing. What exactly is it that you are writing about? Okay? What is your topic? Brainstorm ideas.
This is where you just jot ideas down about what you think you might want to say about this topic. And you can just, this is part of the pre-writing process, so you can just jot them down just any old way. But everything you think you want to say about it, you need to write it down, jot it down.
All right, what brainstorm ideas about the subject? What information about the topic do you know or need to gather? Okay, has everybody got number 6 filled out? Clifton, do you have it filled out? All right, introducing drafting. Oh, hold on. We need to go back. Okay. What do you need to decide on in the decide on your purpose? That is number 7. All right, decide on your purpose. What can you ask to accomplish this goal? Huh? Who? No, you're good. Who is your audience? All right, that's number what? Huh? Number what? 8. Number 9, what do you need to identify in pre-writing? What do you need to identify? Your starts with a T. Maybe the cabinets will answer me. What are you identifying? No. Yes. Thank you. The topic. All right. What can you ask to accomplish this goal? Okay. Yeah. Or you can ask, what information about the topic do you need that do you know or need to gather? Okay.
Sometimes your ideas are not going to all come from your head. Sometimes you're going to need to go and search for some information in a maybe maybe an encyclopedia online, or Google something to find out the things that you don't know about it.
All right. What else should you choose in pre-writing? I think we got that filled out for the most part. You may have some that are kind of blank. All right, I want you to flip over to the next page. Drafting. Okay, just flip over to the next page real quick. All right, introducing drafting. Introducing drafting. Time to write, okay? What is it time to do in drafting? Time to write. So that's number 15. Time to write.
let's go on and flip over like you said, baby, and let's do number 15 so we can get caught up with number 14.
All right, number 16, it says, what should you do with the information you brainstormed? All right, put the information you brainstormed into language appropriate for the assignment. Now, I have been preaching to you since the beginning when we started our discussion board post for no slang. That pretty much means do not text like you write. Instant message or text to speak. Okay? Don't use boring, old, proper grammar. So what should you do with the information that you brainstormed? Put it into appropriate language. All right, put it into appropriate language. And I want you to make sure that you write out there beside it. Do not write as you what? As you text.
What are some examples of that?
Like the same method, just put
DC
or
for how
without ABT
you.
or
Yes.
The letter U for YOU and UR for YOUR or YOU apostrophe RE.
put two new exclamation marks.
Yes. Or write in all caps. All right, what type of grammar should you use? Exciting, vibrant. All right, the opposite of boring, old, and no, it says use Oh, I'm sorry. I get what it's saying now. You want to spell things out and you want to be the opposite of cool. Okay? You want to write formally is what this is saying.
Sometimes formal writing is a little bit on the boring side, but if you will use, like she said, exciting verbs, but there's still standard grammar. You can make it be not so boring and still stay within the parameters of proper writing.
All right, number 18. What should you not worry about this point in the drafting point? Okay, this is after you've thought about what you want to write about and you're just trying to get your words onto paper. Okay, at this point, you don't need to worry about grammar and conventions at this point. Now, conventions is going to be like capitalization and punctuation. I do want you to worry about it a little bit. Okay, I need for you to make sure that you're not writing run-on sentences. That way, when you actually go to write your paper, it's not hard to go back and revise, proofread, okay? So grammar, and that is another thing. We will proofread your papers to fix the grammatical and convention errors, okay?
Did you already tell them did you explain that to them?
What?
About the fact that you might take what they have written and flash it up there for everybody to see and everybody correct.
Okay, that is another thing. Miss Wheelis and I talked about is when we actually read your discussion board postings and found some of your mistakes when you were writing. What I'm thinking about doing is we're going to do like a daily edit type thing, okay? And what you're going to edit is y'all's own discussion board postings. Okay, we're going to edit your writing as a whole group. All right?
And I sure wouldn't want to be embarrassed.
I know, right?
I really would not.
All right, what can you ask to accomplish this goal? All right, you can read what you have written and judge if it says what you mean. Are you getting your point across? Is it clear? If not, okay, go back to stage 1 and pre-write, okay? So are you getting your point across is number 19. Are you getting your point across Is it clear? If not, go back to stage 1 and pre-write. Make changes. All right. Now we're down to introducing revising. Stage 3, revising. Time to make it better. What is it time to do in revising? Make it better. What number is that? 22. Make it better. All right. What do you need to do in revising? What do you need to do in revising? What does it say? Read
what you have written again.
All right, read what you have written again. That is number 23. Read what you have written again.
And people don't like to do that. Once they get it written, they want to be through with it. But that is not. You need to get off of that right now, because you're gonna have to reread it.
And you're gonna have to read some of your classmates. All right, what can you rearrange in your writing? You can rearrange words or sentences. All right, rearrange words or sentences. All right, what can you ask to accomplish this goal? All right, are you using the same sentence order time after time? That means, are you like writing in simple sentences all the time? Are you using the same words over and over? Is your sentence structure a little bit different? What else could we add to that?
Some of their writing may be like steps in a process, and in that case, it would have to be in chronological order. You know, if you were making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, you wouldn't spread the peanut butter on the bread before you had gotten the peanut butter out on the counter, you know, for instance. I mix my peanut butter and jelly all together and then spread it all on.
Me too. All right, what can you ask yourself to know whether to add or delete?
Replace words.
Okay? Replace dead words or unclear words. Replace dead words. Oh, that's number 27. Replace dead words or unclear words. Number 26 is, what can you ask yourself to know whether to add or delete? You know the words. No. Do all parts of the writing support your purpose or topic? Okay. Does writing support your purpose or topic?
If you read your paper and you realize you've got a bunch of junk in there that is not on topic, that you have let yourself wander way down the garden path, some of that stuff might not need to be in there, and you might need to delete it and get back to your topic, a clear topic.
All right, what should you do, if allowed, to make sure your writing flows smoothly? Read your writing out loud. All right, now we're going to stop right here. Okay, you're going to need to put this handout in your notebook. You better come back with it tomorrow. I want to say this real quick. You are going to have another major test on Wednesday on the 6 traits of writing and the writing process. Okay, You will have a major test next Wednesday on the 6 traits of writing as well as the writing process. What test do you have this coming up Friday? A vocab test. Okay? Yes, you need to keep your definitions. It needs to go in your notebook. All right? I want you to go ahead and log out of your computer. I am going to call your number one at a time to place your computer in the cart. Do not get up out of your seat though before I call your number. Okay? When I call your number, you come put your computer in the cart and grab your book bag. Do not get up otherwise.